So welcome back to Challenge the Road. We are going to raffle an Aston Martin 6-litre V12 Vantage. We're going to build it together and then we're going to raffle it, and potentially you could win this car. So welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I'm Richard. I am Challenge the Road. I've got a huge passion for cars, a lovely collection. Been into cars all my life. I've owned over 150 road cars myself, and race cars and rally cars. But I want to talk about CTR Vantage, because if you don't know the journey, what actually happened was one morning I woke up and I said, right, I'm going to build my own car. And there was a few cars there that weren't quite as good as they should have been back in the day. So I thought, well, the Vantage was the one I loved. I love Aston Martin, coolest brand in the world. I love the V8 Vantage. I've probably owned 7 or 8 of them, all the way from, you know, the original car. I paid over list. I so wanted that car, and I did that. And it just didn't quite live up to the expectation. And I'd had Impreza 22Bs, E46 M3s I loved, and it wasn't quite there. Then I kept going back to it. They were dropping in value. I bought in again. And I ended up in a GT8, which I thought would be like the best car ever. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It was just the suspension, and there was bits on that car that just didn't quite give it the sort of feeling I would want from a road car that looked so special. So I thought, right, we're going to do this. We're going to do a project. Can we make a standard V8 Vantage as good as a GT8? Now that was tough. And, you know, it's been quite a tough journey because one, you know, I've been let down quite a bit on the way through this journey from suppliers. Now, when you go back, when we were coming out of COVID, obviously there were supply issues and different things, but also I think maybe some companies lost their focus. So originally I was using Cobra, KW, BBS, and I got let down a lot. I was going to be the first to have the BBS wheels for the Aston. They never arrived. And then I was told they're never going to work. It cost me a year waiting. And that's because I'm a loyal person. If you say you're going to work with me, you're going to work with me, and I'm expecting you to give as much as I'm going to give. And maybe that's probably wrong sometimes, because I'm going to give 24 hours. But anyway, so the Cobra seats, fine, but I just had problems with bits on the fitting and the leather quality, and then we had the wrong size. The size was different on different seats, which you've probably seen from different JM videos. He said that the seats suddenly feel smaller. They told me they were the same size, but when I measured them, they were actually smaller, so I don't know. So anyway, we went to Recaro. I'm really happy with pole positions. Suspension wise, now this is the other thing on some of the videos. I've got to realise that I'm not in a shed with a hammer putting these cars together myself, very far from it. My role is to just go road testing, driving, and build a road car. That's my aim. If we go to the track one day, fine, but my thing is road driving, enjoyment. That's what I love. The mechanic on this, and it's been difficult because I've seen, you know, I've given the car to various YouTubers, and there's been some good reviews, but they haven't quite explained sometimes that my mechanic was Subaru's chief engineer when Colin McRae won the World Championship, Richard Burns and Petter Solberg. He was at the X Games with Colin in 2007. He was an ex-rally driver himself. So we've been working on this journey for the last sort of 2 years. Now, we went with KW because I was promised quite a lot and it never really come through. And we had the wrong suspension to start with. They sent us a suspension for an automatic car, and we have a manual car. We worked with that suspension for a long time. I spent a lot of money, and it was the wrong suspension, which we kept saying from the start. Then we got the next suspension. It's just too firm at low speeds. We spent hours testing. I mean, Stuart's obviously he said he spent 4 days with Tommy Mackinnon testing, and they ended up with the same suspension they'd already had from the rally before. But I done 3 or 4 hours, which is quite, you know, I loved, to tell the truth, but I couldn't get it to settle. And I'm the sort of person, I'm not going to settle there. So I thought, I've got to find someone else. So anyway, I found a supplier who I get on really well with, and I said, look, this is what I want to do. I want just the best Aston, and I want a suspension that's going to be adaptive, it's going to work with me, and you know, and I'm not going to stop. So anyway, we had calls all time, you know, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. This guy was on it, And we've ended up with these pole position seats. We've ended up with an in-track suspension that is bespoke built for my car. Now, it took a bit of a time to arrive, but nowhere near as long as KW. I think it took me about 4 or 5 weeks, whereas KW was like 6 months. And it's amazing. Like, you know, I really couldn't wait to do this video, because I went out, we went up to Stuart, and you know, I put some images and videos there. Went up to Stuart because I've got my Lancia Evo 1 he's restoring, and my Group A Lancia Delta, and we saw the Subarus. Actually, I didn't go into my other storage with all the other rally cars, but he's there, and I said to him, Stuart, look, come on, what's it like? And he said, it's good. Now, if he says good, that means it's bloody brilliant, you know. So he's really happy, I'm really happy. I got in the car, and within 20 yards went over some speed bumps and thought, I've done it. We've done it. We've cracked it. And I'm just like, yes, come on, baby, we've got to do this. So drove it round, and we're using the SM10 alloys in bronze. And I think it does look stunning, absolutely stunning. And we set up the suspension. Stuart done quite a lot of testing. I've done some more bits here. I've just made one tweak from where he had it, just a tiny tweak, and it's bang on. Like, you know, the camera guy Sam, he went in it, he said, Richard, this is phenomenal, and yeah, it's going to shake a lot of things up, I think. So then I thought, yesterday, I've got those forged alloys, I've got to go and get them, and I'm crazy, I'm like, outright, Sam, let's go get them. Anyway, went to Tyre Point, great company in Maidstone. I ring them, they get stuff done. I said, I need these forged alloys on, because I've got to test them. Got them on. Now they're like a brush chrome, so you see them. I'm not sure it's as good as the bronze, but they do sit nicely. Went out, another game changer. The turning, it's the first time I've got on top of an Aston Martin in the bend. I can really get on top of that front tyre. It's felt aloof before. It's not quite with me. And I don't like that feeling of not knowing where I am. So I'm like, right, okay, got it back, thought the ride's gone. So the ride has done slightly bumpy from where I was. So I made 4 more adjustments, and now I've got it perfectly set up for these forged Apex alloys. So a lot of my suspension work, alloy work, seat work is done. So I'm thinking, bloody hell, Richard, we are bloody flying, aren't we? So I thought, right, Stuart's happy, I'm happy, I can make more cars. So I'm thinking about now PPF, because we went with Logic, we done the peelable paint. It's been okay, but we have had a few issues there. We resprayed the car with matte, which was fantastic, because the car we had a little bit of paint before, and we thought, well, let's respray it. We went for Lamborghini blue. Been out in that car today, it is awesome. So I thought, well, someone said to me, Harrison, VVS, he said, Richard, there's this coloured PPF. I'm like, coloured PPF? What? Anyway, I've been researching it as I would, and within 10 minutes I'm on the phone to them. Anyway, it's going to be happening. Not quite next week, probably the week after. But what it does is that it's like a clear PPF, but it changes the colour of the car. So I'll bring up some videos. So, and I want to understand it more. I want to go to the head office and see them, but it's crazy. And so I'm thinking like V12 Vantage, yeah, we've got some options. We could go green, and I'll show you it on there. I think it'll look exceptional. Green with silver forged. It's going to look awesome. Or we go satin black, but that's for you to decide. I'm putting that on Instagram. So you've seen it already. I've put up there. What do you want? 4.3, 4.7, V12. You chose the V12. You then chose that you wanted a black car, but I think you're going to like green when you see it. So I'll then go through all the bits. Like I've got loads of bits here. These are CTR pedals. They're fantastic. I've got a lot of owners buying these at the moment. I've got a new store coming. So I'm going to have all the wheels, all the bespoke suspension there. And again, this is bespoke to me. This is what I wanted made. This is what I wanted to do. Then we've got this amazing time that all the cars are dropping. They're dropping massively in value. And I can pick up Vantages at under 20,000 again. I can pick up V12s at under 60,000. So where I said that the journey was, I wanted a car that you could be proud of, could be your own, you could make with me, goes to Cars and Coffee, not cost you an absolute fortune. And we are seeing now, like, you know, if you're into the bigger supercars, you are having 50, 60k depreciation. You're not going to get that with this car. And of course, I've done all the development now. I'm pretty much there. All we've got to do is interior. and we are working with people on that. Badges we're working on. I found a really good, because I've never had a badge supply. I've tried to make them myself just because everyone wanted the car. The YouTubers wanted the car. They keep going, Richard, I want to buy a CTR Vantage, but I made a mistake. I said it was a demo car. I should have said it's a prototype. They're different things. And for now, at the moment, that's a prototype car. My car's prototype. Because all I was trying to do was put some badges on there to say it's a CTR. That's not the finished badge. It's not how I wanted it. So yeah, so it's pretty exceptional time on that. And then I thought, I want you more involved. You know, these are like one-to-one conversations. I want you involved. I want you on the journey. I want you to go, Richard, that green's amazing, or this badge is rubbish. I accept everyone's opinion. It's not a problem. You know, I responded to over 1,000 messages about Land Rovers, not just on here, but through Messenger, through Instagram, through WhatsApp. It's not a problem. I respect everyone's opinion, whether it's good or bad. It's not a problem. Now, I'm just thinking, I'm going to set up a competition site and I'm going to raffle some cars, because you can come on the journey from buying the car. Look at the Chasing Modern Classics I've done. I loved them videos. Okay, they didn't get the views. I think it would if I'd carried on, but now I'm going to chase them and we're going to buy them and you could potentially own them. That's a different game. And also what I've done, and I've just put it down here, I've put that when you win this car in a raffle, I'm going to insure it. I'm going to store it. I'm going to have it ready for you for events. Now, I've obviously, as I would, I've looked at every competition site, whether it's fishing, cars, everything. In like 2 days, I was through it. The problem is, when you win a car, you have the same problem everyone has. Oh, I'm going to get a Lamborghini. Okay, get a Lamborghini. Well, where are you going to store it? Where are you going to garage it? How are you going to insure it? I'm going to take all that pain away, because I want you to come with us. I want you to come to events. I want to enjoy the car, because what's happening is they're going, we raffle this car for 100,000 and then we give you a cash value of say 70 or whatever. You take the cash because you can't have the car. But if you're watching this channel, you love cars. And if I can take that away, say I've done something where I insure it, store it for 3 years, you have the enjoyment, then we re-raffle it. Something like that. Then another owner has the chance. You get the money back, but another owner can have the car and have that enjoyment. And that's how I see it. But I do think differently about business, about things. And I want things to work, and I want you to enjoy things. The whole reason of living is to try and enjoy it as much as you can. It's very, very short life. So that's the plan. I've pretty much found a V12. I'm excited about that, and that's going to be happening. The web developers are on the competition site now. I really want to do this raffle in March. That's my aim. So we've got sort of 6 to 8 weeks of planning going through. You'll come on the road tests with me. You'll do the colour. We'll put that on Instagram. You choose it. So yeah, I just can't believe it, because, when I had the channel, when I first started, I was the only one with my friend Calvin who knew about my cars. No one else did. So now I've gone out to a global audience. I've got, people message me from all over the world, and it's fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. And I think I kept everything private, because I think in England, sometimes when you do well, people don't like it. So I was always taught to, like, if I had a meeting, I'd go in like the diesel pool golf. I wouldn't take my cars, and I was very secretive about that. And that's how it was. But I think now people are starting to appreciate entrepreneurs and people that are trying to push and trying to do well. And I think in England we've been a bit suppressed, and why should we? Should we be able to say, look, yeah, we are doing well, things are good, things are looking up, we're positive, we want to do things. So that's where I am. That's where I am in my life, and I'm super excited about this year. So yes, I hope you enjoy these videos. If you get a chance to share this, that would really help, because everyone I've spoken to about the raffle is going, Richard, I want to go in it, I want to go in it, I want to go in it now. I'm not quite ready yet, but if you can share it, that really helps. And what a car. 6-litre V12. I've already done quite a lot of the plan. I've actually got my pad here with notes of what I'm going to do to this car, but it's going to be exceptional. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy these videos. Keep watching, and I'll see you again soon.